infatuated with the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. Now keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live,
And we are back.
which is the perfect time for David to tell jokes and screw with me right before the show.
And I did do that. So right before the show, because it is a normal thing for me to at the last minute be like, oh, hey, by the way, this person's coming on or doing something. And we have the show set up because we're doing our SWOT mistakes and power SWOT analysis that we had set ready for last week when we just decided to goof off.
We might actually get to a topic today. I don't know.
If we do, if we don't, we have SWOT analysis for next week.
Well, Kim Howard says that she wants to come on and talk shit and drink. So maybe that's just what the show is going to devolve into again.
I mean, to be honest, let's do it. Let's see how quickly we can make West mad this week.
Hey, I didn't get mad last week. I was just very passionate that David was wrong about AI.
That's fine. I'm all right. I'm wrong more than any person I know. So I'm very used to the sensation.
I can relate. David, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking. Well, we're going to start with what I'm drinking out of. A good friend of mine, Keith. I don't want to drop his last name on here in case he doesn't want it said. But bought me a Yeti, which is the first Yeti I've ever had. I've never had a Yeti before, but it's got the Blackened logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't drank out of it yet. I've had it for a couple of weeks, and I've been traveling basically since I got it, so I really haven't had a chance to give it a go. But for anybody who knows me, the Blackened world, I guess, is a collaboration of multiple people that work with Metallica. And, I've got the Metallica guitar up here. I've got 3 bottles of their bourbon over here. I got their ashtray, their swag.
You got the T-shirt.
Excuse me.
You got the T-shirt.
Yeah, rocking the Metallica shirt. That was not on purpose. I just put that on when I took a shower today. And underneath right here, there's a bunch of Blackened cigars. So, anything that has to do with Metallica, I like to, I'm on board with it.
So you got the Blackened Yeti, but you're not breaking it in with Blackened bourbon.
Blackened bourbon.
That should have been your first drink.
Right. I thought about that. I did think about that. And I've got, within reach, I've got the Blackened bourbon here, and I've got Rye the Lightning, and I've got the Wes Henderson.
Nice.
So if any of you guys out there have the Blackened Willet, I'm looking for the bottle of Blackened Willet. I'm willing to pay $150 for it.
John Calendar asks, how's the green label Blackened?
I haven't cracked it open yet. Get your butt up here. We'll crack it open together, sit out back, have some cigars, and we'll drink some. That's the rye. That's the high rye. And I've got 3 bottles of Weller Special Reserve sitting over there, too. So
nice.
You guys come up on Monday. You leave on a Friday. We'll remember Monday early and Friday late.
And we'll wish we couldn't remember Friday is what that's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It'll be bad.
There's enough over there to put a hurting on people. I got a nice bottle of Eagle Rare over there too, a store pick bottle of Eagle Rare. And I'm actually, that's one of the ones I looked at and said, you know what? I'm going to wait for an occasion to drink that one. I want an occasion.
Well, here's the occasion.
I'll bust it up.
You need to send the wife and kids away for like a week, and like just basically have a week-long bourbon and cigar party at your place. In maybe in the wing of your house that you don't use. Maybe right above the wine cellar, one of the wine cellars, and the third Corvette garage.
Fridge,
I get it. Look,
it's a wine fridge.
I'm not judging.
So
look, we can all wear matching monocles. It'll be great.
Today, yes, we'd all wear matching monocles. That'd be kind of cool. I do want a monocle. Today is actually the wife's birthday, so happy birthday to Nikki. I don't think she's watching yet.
Nikki's birthday is 4/20.
Yeah,
she has the same birthday as Hitler.
She does. I do remind her of that from time to time when she's rather cross with me.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that name since we're streaming to YouTube.
So before, yeah, we just got derated. So before I drink out of this, so I'm wearing a hat. So I visited the people who make. Everybody knows them from Pumpkin, and it's Southern Tier Brewing. So I got their hat here, and I popped by their distillery and brewery. And they have a little spot, and I didn't know. I knew they made beer. I didn't know they made bourbon.
They have for at least 2 years now.
Yeah, for at least 2. So that was one of the things we're laughing about is because it's aged for at least 2. It literally says aged at least 2 years. So it's definitely a blended bourbon. So it's not like a single barrel or anything along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't drank it yet. I just opened it up before the show started. So I'm gonna go into the Southern Tier Distilling Company and Southern Tier Brewing and see what they have to say about the world of bourbon.
Yeah, you should do an interview from there. That'd be cool.
It is a really nice place. If you ever get a chance to get down, it's in the Southern Tier of New York.
Mm-hmm.
So it's over towards kind of the Pittsburgh corner, or not Pittsburgh, the Pennsylvania quarter. And is it NGP? What is that?
I don't know MGP.
I'm sorry. You're going to need to define that.
So John Calendar is a connoisseur of fine
MTV.
bourbonry. So he's way more.
Yeah, so he's going to know things that I don't. That I'm just. He's talking about. I'm like, miles per gallon, miles gallon per. I don't even know what that means, man. So anyway, we're going to take a drink of it. See what happens.
Let's see. What do you think?
I don't hate it.
Okay, well, I mean, it's booze, so you're not going to hate it.
Yeah,
you don't sound super
It could
thrilled.
be dangerous.
Really?
It could be. No, so. That could be real dangerous.
So it's good. Like, it's not super, like, it's not hot, doesn't burn.
It's definitely not hot. It is definitely not hot. That goes down faster than a drunk redhead right there.
Hey, now.
That,
not to the
that
end of the
could
show.
Be.
Will I be drunk?
That could be something right there. I would say as far as a neat bourbon. So I like my drinks cold, but I think I could drink that one neat. And then I also think it would make one hell of an old fashioned.
Nice. You have to try. You got to try it.
It's got some vanilla notes in there that really just kind of really pop. That I've never. That is not a bad bourbon right there.
We got to break out your smoker and make a smoked old fashioned with it.
Yeah. Where the hell? Oh, I got my smoker still over there. I got it over there. Yeah. So yeah, we can do that. And I'll tell you what. So far, the Bladen Bow has made the best old fashioned, and I think this one might give it a run for the money. Okay, so
good to know.
There
By the way, John Calendar says mass-produced grains. They do many products for other distillers.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe stick her on a bottle for all
Kim Howard says, my DD is here, boys. I'm out.
She's out.
I'm glad I got to say hi.
Got to say hi. Well, I was glad to enjoy. I know she celebrates my wife's birthday all on her own out there.
That's what she commented earlier. So happy birthday, Nikki Leffingwell from Kim Howard. She'll be enjoying the day for you.
She'll be celebrating for you.
Devin Ross
with squinty eyes.
I know nothing about bourbon. So Devin, there's a lot to know about bourbon. I have barely even scratched the surface. So
yeah,
you're not alone.
Yeah. So we did the beer thing, and both of us are pretty well.
I mean, I usually think I'm okay, but like then I talk to John or like somebody who's actually knowledgeable, and I'm like, I don't know.
Who really just delves into it, and you're just like, give me my crayons back, please. Just give me my crayons. I'm gonna go call her in the corner.
Right. Exactly.
So this was actually a business thing that happened this week to me. And there's two of them. One of them was kind of funny and tells you who I work with, and the other one is absolutely annoying and also tells you who I work with. So the first one, we're talking about this type was one of our product lines, and I said, hey, a lot of people are asking me about this, and can you give me a timeline on it? Where is it at on the roadmap? Like it's got high interest. It's a kind of a big deal.
Okay.
And he comes back and he goes, that's not on the roadmap. I'm like, okay, well, break out your crayons and get to work. And he emails me back. I don't understand what that means.
How do you nice that one up for him a little bit there?
I wanted to find out what college he graduated with his accounting degree.
Yeah.
Because accountants historically do not have, or traditionally do not have, that great witty sense of humor. So when he fired back, I don't understand what that means. Are you kidding me? I want you to get the crayons, put it on the freaking map, dude.
Right. Yeah.
But whatever.
He probably was like, he was overthinking it. He thought you were talking about some big businessism. And you should have made up some big businessism out of it. Like, oh, so the crayons represent yada, yada, yada. And it's a sidecar win in the end.
The crayon represents how fast we can move and pivot.
Right. Exactly.
I had a guy today use the word pivot on me, so I had to drink an extra drink for him.
Oh, man. Yeah. I've been on meetings all day, and that's all I hear all day long are these things. So
luckily, Mondays are my bad days. Mondays are my internal days, and those are my infernal internals, I call them.
Sure.
And those are the days. So I move a lot of stuff to Monday so I consider Monday just sunk. Like, what's your schedule, Dave? I work 4 days a week. Oh, you don't work Friday? No, I don't work Monday. I'm there, but I'm not actually doing any work.
Yeah, nobody can actually get work done on Monday. So
yeah, I'm listening to people talk about things that they don't even understand yet. So It's really just a waste of my time.
Right. And Devin, I do agree. Seinfeld was in fact better than Friends.
How the hell did we get there? I know a little bit about beer, and then he goes to Seinfeld was better than Friends.
Look, he's enjoying Nikki's birthday as well. So happy birthday, Nikki Left.
I suppose he's stoned and drunk out there, man.
No, a businessism that I heard a lot today was a series of really big meetings. And
Okay.
apparently we had a really full parking lot because people brought up items that they wanted to talk about. They'd spend 10 minutes. I'm just bringing this up so we can parking lot this thing. And they'd talk for 10 minutes, and somebody else would bring up something they wanted to parking lot. And before you knew it, we had a full parking lot, and apparently nobody in the building because we were all over the place. I don't know what's going on.
So the fans here, our raving fans, they explained to me, and it makes sense now. The pivot comment is out of Friends.
Yep.
With the couch in the hallway, or the couch in the stairwell, I believe is.
I mean, look, Friends had its moments. I get it.
Yeah, I had an ex, and she just loved Friends and watched it all the time. Now, so naturally, I had to watch a couple of the episodes, so I do remember that one. So now it makes sense. So it's not as I thought you were like pulling full tilt Dave and just like it hit your head, you spoke like Matt Harmon.
Oh, well.
You are our Matt Harmon for tonight.
You say his name one more time, he's going to show up.
I like talking to Matt. So
actually, he came over yesterday. He thought he didn't realize
nice.
He didn't realize we were having the show on Thursday today. He came over last night.
And, we talked about it last week.
Just as I was putting my kids to bed, he shows up. So Matt, if you're out there, feel free to stop by. Come, hobble down the stairs. Try not to kill yourself, and we'll be waiting for you.
It's just this cup is just the coolest damn thing, man.
Yeah, Yetis
so
are
my
great.
hands aren't getting cold. My ice cube is lasting longer.
Yeah,
and when I drink, I can see the steam. I guess the condensate. I don't know, whatever it is, coming out of the cup when I breathe across it.
Yeah, no, Yetis are great. Like I told you, we were on the countdown. That's week-old ice. I put ice in this thing on Mondays, and by Friday, there's still ice in this thing. I keep refilling with water, and the ice won't melt. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't. So for my water, I use the certified Hofbrauhaus Columbus Oktoberfest drinking vessel here, Stein. That is my water. I have 3 of these, and I really just use one of them. The other one, I've got one more of them sitting back here by the humidifier. That I don't think it's in the scene, but you can see a little bit of the stuff off the side here.
Right.
And that's what I fill it up there.
Nice. So John Callender says his understanding is Southern Tier makes a pumpkin bourbon, which I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of flavored bourbons, so I would try it, but I'm not sure I'd invest in the whole bottle. Of it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'll give anything at least the old college try. I'll give it a little bit, but it doesn't seem like something that I'd like. And pumpkin flavored things, of all the pumpkin spice stuff that's out there, the Hofbrauhaus pumpkin spice cream puffs.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That's where the money is. I got to tell you, if you haven't had it, well, don't drop what you're doing now because they don't have them right now. But when the fall comes around and everybody's talking about getting white girl wasted, that's when you go. That's when you go and you get the pumpkin spice cream puff.
Define white girl wasted. What is this?
I don't understand what that means.
Is that pumpkin spice anything?
Old. I don't know.
Is it White Claw?
It could be. I think it might be drunk. I don't know. But when they do all the pumpkin spice stuff, like I don't even know when that is.
Yeah.
September, October. In the fall. So go in the fall, get yourself some pumpkin spice cream puffs from Hofbrauhaus in Columbus. Yes, right there, pumpkin dunkel. Oh wait a minute, pumpkin dunkel. I have not had pumpkin dunkel.
Yeah,
that's hard to say. Pumpkin dunkel. So if I drink 3 more of these, I'm not gonna be able to say that.
So John, the pumpkin dunkel is that when they? You can't say it with a straight face. Is that when they add the flavoring to the dunkel beer? Because he's mentioned a couple of these where they add the flavoring to it after they pour it, and I haven't tried one of those yet.
You really should. And one of the ones that I like there, they have a blood orange that they can add to, I think they're Hefeweizen.
Ooh, that sounds
beer.
Good. Yeah.
They're Weizen beer with the blood orange in it. So I used to get that. I would get in my growler, my big growler, and fill it up. over
Nice.
there because it was so good.
That
And
does sound
whatever you
good.
do, don't put John's comment on the screen.
Yeah, I saw that.
Although
John,
it
I'm not
comes
putting
up,
that other comment on
although
the
it
screen.
comes up on Facebook anyway, it just won't transfer over to YouTube.
I'm not putting that on the screen, John. So, David, do you have anything for the news today?
No. That just SpaceX did some test flights today, and I think the rocket blew up at some point.
You did.
And the whole idea, this thing wasn't supposed to go up and be perfect. The whole idea behind it was it's got to go. We've got to learn from it. We've got to collect data. So as far as what its intention was, it was still a success. It was intended to be a data gathering. What can we do? How does it work? What's it going to do if we do this? And, you have to have people out there that are willing to take that risk, which really goes back into almost every week of what we do, with the exception of the weeks that we completely just goof off.
Right.
About taking that risk to start your own business, to be your own boss, or to get into other verticals and so on and so forth. That is just something. Oh shit! I said verticals.
So you got to drink now. It's an off-season. You got to drink.
Yeah. So we need those people, and we need you guys. Everybody out there. We've talked about it since day one. Everyone out there is walking around with a business idea, a good and equitable business idea that you can turn into revenue. You can turn into a life that you are growing something for yourself. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got Wes and I. We've got 50 each.
We said that on day one of this show.
Day.
Everybody out there has $1 million idea.
Yeah.
It's all about how you execute, or if you execute.
So I seen a sign today. I was at one of my clients, and I seen a sign in there today. It said, "All the ideas in the world are useless without execution."
That's it.
And that's another great way of saying, when was the best time to plant a tree?
30 years ago.
When was the second best time to plant a tree?
Right now.
Right now.
That's it.
So yes, you have the ideas. So take advantage of them. Use it. And if you need, why does Dave's room look like it's smoking? So I have, John, I have a humidifier thing over here. You guys can't say, and I'm not going to take the camera. Last week I gave a little bit of a tour because I think somebody asked something similar. So I've got a stash of, there's probably 100 cigars, 120 maybe over here in this humidor. And then I've got my Martin acoustic guitar sitting right behind me. And I've got probably another 75 cigars sitting in this humidor over here. And then I've probably got 40 cigars sitting in the humidor that's underneath it. So this room, apart from the rest of the house, has, I try to keep the humidity up. So it's not smoking, it's water vapor.
So basically, David's whole room is a walk-in humidor at this point.
Well, I got too many electronics in here to actually make it a walk-in humidor. The idea has crossed my mind a couple of times. Like, all right, just screw it. Just put the shelves on a wall. Let's put this thing in here. I can get this up. It'll always be nice and comfortable in here because it'll be a steady temp and everything.
Right, exactly.
But so I try to keep the humidity a little escalated, or a little elevated in the room over the rest of the house. But the humidity, the humidors handle the rest of it.
But
and where are we talking about? So anyway, we're talking about that everybody's walking around with those $1 million ideas in their head, and planting trees and doing all this, and 1,000 great ideas are useless if you don't execute. And that has kind of been almost the core. If there was a core topic for the Underdog journey, kind of, you boiled down our message from week to week to week to week. What episode are we on?
145 today.
145 episodes
in a row.
In a row. We haven't missed a week yet.
Yeah.
We've been out. One of us has been out here or there. Wes has missed one. I think I've missed two. But all around, if you boiled that down, if you distilled it, you would come down with, I could put this nicely, I could put this politically, I can put this business speak, but I'm going to tell you, get off your ass and get to work.
That's it.
That's really how I'm going to say it.
Right.
Get your ass up and go to work. But not for your day job. Get your ass up and go to work for yourself. And if you really boiled it down, of everything we've taught and everything we've said, is to actually trust yourself and get going. You have a business idea. It doesn't have to start. You don't start with a multi-billion-dollar business, or a multi-million-dollar business.
Right.
You start with a small business, and that small business is there are programs out there. We've talked about in the past about the SBA and other things to help you out, how to write business plans and all that. So don't wait. Act now. Operators are not standing by. Do not call me. Speaking of which, I should make sure my phone's turned down.
But it's true though. So
because John will probably call me just a minute. Oh, just as I do that, somebody else.
Don't give him ideas. Don't give John ideas.
I'll turn it down now.
But you're totally right. So how often have you been out with one of your drunk idiot friends, and I count myself among those people, and they're like, oh, I had this amazing idea, $1 million idea, and then so and so came out and did the exact same thing, and now they're or I invented Facebook before Zuckerberg and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter who thought of it first. It matters on who executed and actually did it better.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yep. Yeah, and we've talked about that a lot. About if you don't have to be first to market, but there are benefits. There are benefits to being first to market, but there are other ways you can learn and grow from that. I talk a lot about Xerox versus like Konica Minolta, where when Xerox launched, it was we've got service in all of these locations. And then when their competitor comes up, and I think it was Konica Minolta that came up, they said, well, our machines aren't going to break down as often. They're not going to break. They're going to work.
Right.
So we don't have to have a service industry 3 doors down from you because your machine's not going to break. So there's ways to set yourself up and compete. And we've talked about value and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But news. Did you have any news that's non-AI related?
I do actually. But real quick, I wanted to touch back on one of Devin's points here when you talked about SpaceX. He brought this up. So SpaceX, obviously owned by Elon Musk, and because of that, I think they all have pretty good senses of humor. Apparently, didn't explode. The rocket did not explode.
Oh, did not explode.
It was a rapid, unscheduled disassembly.
Yes, it was an unscheduled disassembly.
Which is awesome. That's the best way to say explosion ever.
Yeah, well, so there's a company I used to work with, one of my clients down in Florida, and they have another company over in the south of France that they do. I'm not going to say what they do, but they do things that are a little risky.
Okay.
And they call it a high pressure event. Well, we had 3 high pressure events last night, and your all systems operated and functioned perfectly during the high pressure. That's a fancy way of saying shit. That thing blew up. We were trying to do some formation, and well, it got away from us, and it went.
That's funny. So I thought that was great. That was a great way to say explosion. Yes. So we do actually have a couple news items, which I thought were pretty interesting. So let's see. The first one is, you're going to love this, David. Creepy AI site can find every photo of you online. It's a stalker's dream.
Send me that link.
Yep. So there's this site where you can actually upload a photo, and it'll do facial recognition. The AI kicks in, and it will actually search the internet. Basically, it's a really advanced version of Google's reverse image search. That's what it is. And it's apparently really, really good, because the prices for this thing range between $30 and $300, with the advanced one of the advanced accounts going up to $3,000 a month. So
a month?
No, annually. I'm sorry, $3,000 annually.
$3,000.
Monthly packages do go from $30 to $300 a month. So it's not cheap. So if you are a stalker and you're really dedicated, maybe have some
why the hell would you pay? So that's what, $3,600 to $300 a month?
Yeah.
But you can get a year for $3,000?
It's a deal. It's a discount. It's a bargain, is what it is.
What a bargain.
I mean, I imagine people running background checks might do this. Maybe HR departments of high-end companies might use this. Because think about it. If I was Elon Musk level executive, right? If I was a top dog executive and I'm looking for other executives to work under me, that's not bad if you want to dig up dirt on somebody that you could potentially hire.
Why? So the
right? Like, because the internet's forever. Here, kids, remember this. If you do something dumb, don't post it on the internet, because the internet is forever.
The internet is forever.
Right. So here's the thing:
Yes.
if you're an executive and you're looking for somebody to work under you, and you have the budget, you want to make sure you hire somebody who doesn't have some shady stuff posted somewhere.
What? See, I have to go the other way on that. I don't like it. I don't want. I mean,
You're saying
the
AI
difference
scares you,
between
David? Are you saying there
well,
could be bad actors out there trying to use AI for bad purposes? Is that what you're trying to say? AI is the enemy of humanity now.
I'm trying to say that as an employee of a company XYZ, what I do on my own time is none of your business.
True. Okay, what about this? What if
I want to run a podcast and drink bourbon, then I should be able to do that.
What about this? What if you met the perfect spousal material? Man, woman, whatever you're into. The perfect spousal material. And you want to do a little background. You're like, hey, does this person have some shady stuff posted online?
Nope.
I'm not saying it wouldn't violate some trust somewhere, but it could be a potential use case.
Not going to do it.
I'm not saying you would. I'm not saying I would, but I'm saying there are use cases.
I'm gonna look for nude celebrities and things like that. I'm gonna use it for what the internet was intended for. That is what I'm gonna use this for. That's the whole purpose of the internet. There's a whole song about it.
Mr. Harmon isn't here yet. Hold on, we got some visitors here, and she's wearing her butterfly wings and tutu and cat ears and princess crown. And has 2 Care Bears.
She is decked out tonight.
She is.
She is decked out tonight.
She is. She is all set. Catherine, how was school today?
Good.
Good? Oh, great. That's so good.
She's very loquacious.
She is so talkative sometimes. You can never shut her up. I'm joking.
Yeah, if she could just get closer to the mic, that would be better.
Hi.
What else can you say?
What else can you say?
That's it. So hey, Catherine, stand back here and show your butterfly wings and tutu.
Okay, let's see there.
Be shy.
And she's buggering off. Okay.
She's tired. She's had a full day. Locke, how was your day at school, buddy?
Amazing.
Amazing. What'd you do at school?
Amazing. Tell us about this amazing day, Locke.
What did you do at school today?
Normal school stuff.
Normal school stuff?
Yeah.
So are you saying a normal day at school is amazing?
Yeah.
These kids love school. They're pretty good at school.
Okay.
Love school.
Hey, you're really good at math, aren't you? What kind of special math are you in now?
Prodigy money math.
Prodigy money math.
Instead of ST math, some people have made to Prodigy money math.
So he's upgraded
ST
from
math
to Prodigy.
Oh my lord! I remember when my kids were doing the ST math and that stupid penguin.
Was there
that
a penguin. ST math?
Yeah.
Do you like the
There's
penguin?
a penguin. Oh, I hate that penguin.
Yeah, but
David doesn't like the penguin.
I do not like the penguin.
yeah, he can't even jump.
Or
He can't even jump a little bit.
He can't even jump.
no, yeah, only got it a little wrong. Just a little hop. Just go.
It's the short legs. They weren't made for basketball.
Yeah.
They're gonna be.
We could be like we
Wesley
could take the word penguin and mess it up like Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's your penglings. Penglings can't.
Penling. Here we go. Surprised to see penlings, and these penwings hobble to and fro.
All right. Get out of here. All right, you guys go to bed.
No, you two are not going to bed.
All right, good night, kiddos. Go get some ice cream and then go to bed.
Okay, well, they're carrying me away. I'm getting out of here.
Stop.
All right, guys.
Let's go.
See you later. Okay. They're getting really heavy. They're having it's harder and harder to get them out of rooms now.
Yeah, you'll have that. There we go. A little bit of more.
Anna Calendar says, this teacher's heart is happy. So glad school was amazing for him. It's true. These kids love school. It's every day when they get on the bus, just all smiles. Just it's weird. It's weird is what it is.
Yes, I agree.
I tell them that all the time. I'm like, kids, you're weird. You're just weird. And they laugh.
Well, it's crazy because, today, I will learn anything I can. You give me something to read. I am subscribed to the New England Journal of Medicine. All right.
Well, you're weird
and
too.
I read it. And I read it and I read about this and I get into these things and I dig into it. I'm, subscribed to some noetic stuff. I'm subscribed to, all these things. And I'm all into it. In school, no. That
exactly.
wasn't me. I was not. I took pride 1 year. I had a 0 in math. That was for the entire year. I literally didn't do anything. My sophomore year, 0. My score in math was 0 out of however many points possible total. I had a 0. I didn't do anything.
You know what I discovered way too late, though, in high school? I discovered in high school, I wish I would have discovered it sooner, was that the advanced classes, if you can get yourself, wiggle your way in one of those, the advanced classes, the AP classes, are always way easier than the normal level classes. Like, because it's more, the more lenient and the more like open to like you doing things your way. Like in the AP classes, so much easier than regular classes.
Yeah, I didn't have any risk whatsoever in AP classes. When I switched over and I went to a trade school for the last 2 years. And when I switched over to that trade school and got into electrical, and we had a thing called applied mathematics. And so it was basically mathematics that you would need that would be in that trade. Well, I mean, we're calculating loads, we're calculating resistance, we're calculating delta Y and Y delta or delta delta transformers. So that's trig.
I was more into GoBots, but whatever you're into.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody was into GoBots. That's how you know it's a lie.
Yeah. I don't remember GoBots very well. I do remember Micro Machines. Do you remember Micro Machines?
I remember the fast-talking commercial guy. Remember the guy in the commercials who talked really fast?
Yeah, it was. But I remember having Micro Machines. Those were just the coolest. It was like Matchbox cars, but small.
Tiny. And
Matchbox cars aren't necessarily large.
They were smaller and they were twice the price. So that's that's.
So we had Matchbox. We had these little things. We had some Matchbox cars. We had the little Micro Machines you get. Man, those were fun. So anyway, so when I switched over and I started doing things that I had a real life application of, not just a theoretical application of. So your mathematics, you're doing algebra and pre-algebra, which I struggled with wildly because to me it was all theoretical. I had nowhere that I could apply it and see it function and see what it's supposed to do. So when I switched over and I started doing applied mathematics, I mean, I picked up trig and geometry and some minor level calculus very, very quickly because I could see it in action and, see how it applied to a situation. But you give me things now that's just, I mean, I took a couple of math classes in college or for just college credit stuff just to get better at things. And just the intro level stuff now, I'm like, no, I can't do this. What degree can I get that doesn't require me to have math?
Well,
and I do this stuff daily. You need to calculate transformers and all these things. I can do that, but just to do something that's purely theoretical, can't. It's beyond me.
Right. Well, if you got $30 a month, you can stalk people online with this app. So
that's a good one way to bring it back, I guess.
Well, look, there could be, if you're a private investigator. Look, there are
now. There's an application. Finding nudes, private investigator.
Let's see. It's called PIM Eyes. PIMEYES. I don't know what that means. But stalker's favorite tool. So there's that for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got one more. I got another thing here, which is not AI related. You'll be happy to know.
Okay.
So I want to start.
I don't believe you until I see it.
So I want to start with one of my favorite quotes. And I know you're a huge soccer fan, so you're going to love this too.
Yeah, I don't. If it's a soccer quote, I'm not going to know what it is.
Leo Messi. And I know you've heard a version of this quote here.
Oh, yeah, I know. I don't know this guy.
Let's see. I started early. I stayed late. Day after day, year after year, it took me 17 years and 114 days to become an overnight success. Which I love that quote.
Yeah, well, yes, I have. I've seen that. I am a 15-year in progress overnight success. I've seen that quite a bit.
Yeah, so that's a great quote, and
that's good.
We need to quote that more often because it kind of leads me to a second news story.
This will be a third.
Well, a third.
All right,
a third.
I got one word for you. Made in America.
Look. We already admitted math is not our top forte on this channel.
If you're not good at math, go to sales and marketing. That's where it's at. We put it in Excel and it does the math for us.
Exactly. Look, let AI do all the math. Humans won't need math very, very soon. It's the whole thing. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So I seen this story. I did not go into it. So
I'm not going to go super, super deep into it. Basically, the headline is Tech CEO applauds employee selling off their pet dog to accommodate return to office push. And it's not even that headline. It's other stuff in here where this guy is, he's a little unhinged, and that's not my words. It's actually here in the subheadline here.
According to the Associated Press, this guy is unhinged.
The subheadline is, I challenge any of you to outwork me. Clearlink CEO James Clark told his staff in a combative and unhinged video call. So that brings us to something we've talked about before, which is you should never, ever, ever expect any employee to love your business the way that you do. Ever.
Yes.
And you know what? To challenge them and to push them like that. Look, if they're a ladder climber, that's fine. That's great. If they're very, very ambitious within the organization, that's on them. That's great. But don't hold them to the same standards you hold yourself.
No.
Ever.
No, ever. If you can't say because
if this dude were
when
my
you're
boss
at the
and he
top,
approached me this way, I'd be like, I would immediately go back on LinkedIn.
I was getting ready to ask, how many people hit Indeed and LinkedIn
Exactly.
literally the moment this happened?
Right.
I have, and hopefully my boss isn't watching. I have set in meetings, and they say things. I'm like, I go in, I pull up my resume, I make sure it's all up to date. If there's any changes I want to do, and I do it. When I hear them doing things, I'm like, at what point is the straw going to break the camel's back?
Right. That's it.
So always prepared. And at some day, one of these days, I fully expect executive leadership to do something so stupid. I'm like, you know what? I don't want my name associated with this anymore, and I'll be gone by the end of the day.
That's it.
When that happens.
And you know what? The employee who got
you
rid of
asked
their
me
dog,
to sell my dog, I'm out.
The employee who got rid of their dog because of this, first of all, they shouldn't
Shame
be the dog
on
owner
you.
in the first place. So it's probably better they got rid of the dog because the dog is probably with a much better family now. Secondly, everybody in this company should have immediately gone on Indeed and LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thing to say. And we've actually talked about, you brought it up there, that nobody's going to love your business like you do. It is you. It is an extension of yourself. So when you get to the point when you're hiring or bringing someone on to be part of it, you can't expect them to you own all of it. They are going to, if you do it properly, you hire the right person, you empower them to make change, you empower them to create inside of their space. They can own that portion of it, and they're going to be excited about owning that portion of it. But even that's not going to be as high as your level is.
Right.
And they're not going to love the rest of the business. They're going to love their portion of the business. And they're going to love it like, whoa, that could have been offensive as hell, Dave. Oh my God, I didn't say that. They're going to love it like, ooh, that's bad too. Come back to me on that.
They're going to love it like Kim Howard loves Nikki Leffingwell's birthday.
Yes, happy birthday to Nikki Leffingwell.
All right, so
that's my wife.
John Calder
That's
says,
how great of a husband I am as I'm sitting here on a podcast on her
oh yeah, I
birthday.
didn't even think about that part. David, what are you doing here?
No. So we did a cookout and everything before I went off to Dallas earlier this week.
All right.
And it's a little chilly here today. I mean, literally it snowed yesterday. So it's a little chilly here today. So we weren't going to do a cookout. We had a late luncheon at a place that she really liked. It's very hippie. So naturally she loved it. So we're going to be doing something early, after this, we're running out and grabbing a cocktail or something. So I'm covered. I'm good.
Well, Nikki, if you're watching, I apologize. Blame your
calendar. What are you doing to us,
husband.
bud?
By the way, John Calder says, what if the business is employee owned? Which, look, if there's profit sharing, or if it's profit sharing, or if you get high commission, something along those lines. But again, that's your choice. That's your choice.
Devin Ross, I like that. Good comment, Devin. Why are my comments fading? Facebook, stop changing your crap. I want to see the comments. Leave them on the screen.
Yeah, Devin Ross says David's going to be in the Underdog house. Good one. That's a very good one.
John, your wife is on here with you. You might want to watch out. She's coming after you. So
over the aromatic.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not.
The aromatic comments.
The aromatic comments. I'm not going to put that on the screen, John.
I got one word for you: made in America.
Look.
So yeah, company stocks, profit sharing. Back over to that.
Yep.
So yeah, company owned. company owned is, I'm sorry, employee owned businesses. That is something a little different. But and I've worked for a company or an employee owned business,
Mhm.
and at no point did I feel like I owned a single damn thing in the business.
Right. They say that, but unless you are like a big
Unless you're
shareholder,
able to
of the
enact,
organization,
yeah,
like you're not really, you don't really own the company. Like they could still replace you in a minute and not think twice
yeah.
about it. You know what I mean?
So one of the things I have found over the years, if you really want an employee really to kind of take charge and really be excited about it, you need to give your employees the power to enact and make changes. So living inside
Right.
of a policy is one thing. You have a policy. You have a policy that says a person at this rate gets that rate, you do this thing, XYZ, across the board. Doesn't matter. You can make up whatever words to go in there.
Mhm.
But you have a policy that that is your 99% run. But when you empower an employee to make a decision off of that 1%, that is huge.
Sure.
And you need to trust them and back them up on it. And that was one of the things I was a huge advocate for, was allowing my employees or my people to, I want them to make decisions.
Mhm.
If I can't trust you to make a decision, you're not working for me.
Right. That's it.
I don't want people to look at the policy and say, this is what the policy says, and then report that back to my customers.
Right. That's
Customers
absolutely
don't want that. I need them to look at it and go, normally we do it this way, but this is just kind of outside the box. So let's do this. And they knew that if they did that, they had 100% of my backing. I was backing you up.
Right. And I do that with my team. They'll come to me and they'll say, here's a list of, X, Y, and Z issues. And here's some possible solutions, because they know, I like to see solutions. I just don't want to hear problems. And I'll say,
Yep.
what do you think? And they're like, well, because of A, B, and C, I think we should do, X, Y, and Z. I'm like, cool, go. Unless I specifically have like very strong feelings one way or the other, I'm like, go do it, because I trust you.
Yeah.
I hired you because I trust you. You know what I mean?
Now,
if I didn't trust your
now
judgment,
when you have now take that next step, is when you have strong feelings against it and you still tell them to do it. Like, I'm going to trust you. I don't like what you're getting ready to do.
Right.
But I want you to go do it.
Yeah.
If it blows up in your face, I'm not going to be like, I told you so.
Mhm.
I don't see it working out, but my brain is different than your brain. It may be completely different. You may have a tactic that I haven't thought of,
Mhm.
an angle that I haven't thought of. So I want to see it. I am absolutely willing to be wrong. And Devin Ross said there, Dave, didn't I work for you? Well, I'm going to use the word work.
Work is
loosely
very
in there.
flexible, Devin.
It's flexible. So if people go, how many people work for you? Me and Mike be like, about half.
But I'm bummed.
Okay, so it is. We are 50 minutes into our
50 minutes. We
podcast.
might actually talk about SWOT analysis. I think there's enough time to at least graze.
Let's
the
get
subject.
into it. Let's get into it.
So let's
get into it, because I think it's very important.
It is actually really important. And here's the thing about SWOT analysis: it sounds super nerdy, and the more you talk about it, the nerdier it sounds.
Well, and it's been a long time since we've had an anagram on here, so let's go.
Exactly. But the thing is, SWOT analysis can be used when you're thinking about starting a business. It can be used when you're thinking about going on, starting any kind of big decision in your life. You can actually SWOT that thing out. Yeah, there you go. I said that. Because it actually, here's what it does. It breaks down the strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats, SWOT, SWOT, of any big decision you're going to make. Again, whether it's starting a business, whether it's making a big life choice, whether you're debating having that hard conversation with your significant other about, whatever. Make up your mind on what that could be. Look, SWOT it out. It's basically a really advanced version of a pros cons list. It's kind of what it breaks down to. David, do you ever use SWOT analysis or pros?
Hold on a second. I'm still digesting the War and Peace booklet that John Callender just posted on this thing.
Well, I really got to read John's comments before I post them on the screen, because I never know what he's going to say.
This one's actually a good comment, but it's wordy. I make decisions every day that weighs in the best for the customer and the company. That's good. My decision hit the bottom line. It will ultimately affect our price per share for the company. I love that about where I work. It may cost a few dollars more today, but it could gain us a long time, 1,000 in the long run. Yes. So, and that's one of the things that, some nearsighted managers, I'm going to call them MBAs for, just for expediency's sake, tend to forget is that if you're looking at it's a short term, it's really easy to make that short term. But the frog doesn't know it's boiling itself, or the crabs eat frogs. I don't know, whatever the analogy is. But as you're shrinking your market share and, increasing prices, that's one of the things that's happening right now is we see people that are increasing their prices. So they're making, the same or more money, but they're selling significantly less units. Well, what that means is market share loss. That's literally what that means.
Right.
So that's not good. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I agree with John on this very much. Good job, John. Good job. Great company to work for if they give you that kind of authority and power.
Absolutely.
And world inside of it. But back over to the SWOT thing. Now that I've digested the massive comment that he put out there, it was a good comment though. So I'm glad we took a couple moments to talk about it.
Right. So again, the 4 points of SWOT are strength of the opportunity, the strength, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. So the strengths and weaknesses is easy, right? That focuses internally on the business being evaluated.
And those two are often taken into account via pro-con list.
Right. That's what I was going to say. That's basically your pro-con list, right? Your strengths and your weaknesses.
Those two are taken into account. A lot of people will go into the first two letters of the SWOT and create a pro-con list, but they end it there.
Right. While the opportunities and threats are going to be more external, okay? So these are areas, again, the more advanced external way of looking at the pros and cons. And we can, so here's how you break it down. So your strengths are going to be just the positive aspects that come along with this decision. If you want to start a business in brewing beer, the strengths are...
Wait, you just said beer. It reminded me. We never talked... What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, we got so into talking about your drinks.
So sidetracked talking about the freaking bourbon. We forgot to go into what Wes is drinking tonight. Now, everybody's been sitting here the whole night. What's her name? Had to leave the show without finding out what you were drinking. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
You should be.
We will fire our producer. We will fire our producer for this.
So it's the sun is shining, the birds are singing, finally getting some warm weather, and John Callender called it Summer Shandy.
It's the Summer Shandy.
It's a great beer. Look, it's not super craft. It's from Leinenkugel, but it is tasty stuff.
Fine. It's good. I actually do like Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy.
Yeah.
I do not like Leinenkugel's Oktoberfest. I don't know where they went wrong with that thing, what they did.
Yeah, look, you've just been spoiled with really good, Oktoberfest beers. So.
Yeah, really good Oktoberfest, really good beers.
And a good Oktoberfest is a high bar. So look, I can't blame them too much. All right.
So we talked about the strengths there, and you were going. I want to talk about the threats later, because it is the last letter. But we're all, the strengths. I mean, that's. I mean, not really complicated. I mean, how do you bring it? It could be the quality of your product. Could be how you're marketing. It could be the demographic or geographic that you're in. It could be the psychographic that you're in. You could be in an area. Let's say you want to sell. Italian ice. You sell Italian ice in Phoenix, Arizona, probably a little easier than Manitoba, Canada, or something along those lines.
Right.
So, I mean, so there's some things that you can definitely leverage your strengths of business on that.
Right. So all the great things that you think about when you think, oh, I have $1 million idea. All those great things that go along with that $1 million idea, those all go under strengths, right?
Yep.
Now weaknesses. Again, it's basically weaknesses is going to be your cons list. That's all the drawbacks. That's all the problems that come along with this, right? And again, these are all going to be internal, okay? So it could be, possibly your production method isn't where it could be, so you have a slightly lower quality product. It could be a lack of money associated, like one of the business I'm working on right now. I have a huge bottleneck, which is production in some cases. That's a weakness. So
little side note on that. I have a I have a notebook. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's over there in the thing that I have been drawing up a bakery machinery thing for you, trying to work up how to help that out.
Now, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so that is a weakness.
So it could be
on
bottlenecks.
that.
Yeah.
Kill your bottlenecks. So, so quality of product.
The quality of my product is a strength. I have a super high quality product. The problem is the quality is so high, it's actually hard to produce these things because
Yeah.
it's all by hand. So
High
that there's a
standard,
bottleneck
very high
involved. There's a strength
Yep.
that leads to a weakness.
Yes, it's a strength that inherently comes with it a weakness
Mhm.
to a certain point. And even then, even once it's overcame, it's still going to be uh, a less weighted weakness because it's still going to cost more
Right.
on that.
Right. It could be, if you have, let's say you have a car's like an auto body shop, bad location. That's a weakness that you can find a workaround. But these are things that you need to think about.
How fast do you want to get off the air, West?
I mean,
How fast do you want us to
I don't know.
this
I
off
don't know
here?
where you're
we
going
could
with
make,
this,
we could make some jokes here. I mean, let's say you open an auto body and you live in a town that was just all men.
I don't get it.
No, you don't get it. There's no women there to crash cars.
But
Of the weird joke that
Got
only
it.
women crash. I don't get that myself.
Good old fashioned family
it's-
chauvinism. I get it. It's
yes,
fine.
yes, exactly. You know why? Why not? So yeah, I don't get it. I mean, every time I see it, we're crashing cars all the damn time. We have literally things at state fairs that we crash cars into each other, but it does make for some good humor. Let's see here.
So you have your strengths, which is your pros. You have your weaknesses, which is your
but
cons. And those
I
are
like it.
And those are all internal strengths and weaknesses. Okay. Now you have your externals, your opportunities, and your threats. So your opportunities are, again, they're going to be positive things. It could be the growth rate of the industry that you're in. It could be specific laws or policies that benefit the growth of your company, right? It could be, positive customer feedback. You could already have a great following. Let's say you have, a crap ton of friends you don't even know who they are, like David, or you have a big social media following. You have
so wait a minute. We got to rewind now. You're saying a big crap ton of friends. You don't know who all they are. Like David. I was in Vegas last week. As we know, I did
You're
the
a
show
people
from
person.
Vegas.
It is what it is.
Later that night, I'm walking around. I don't have my map here of which hotel I was or which casino I was in. I was up on Fremont Street. And I went into one of the older casinos, and I was coming through, and somebody stopped me. They stopped me in Vegas because they seen the shirt.
Right.
They wanted to start talking about shirt, and I started talking about and they go, "You have a podcast?" I was like, "What?"
Wait. Hang on. Wait. No, hang on.
Vegas.
In Vegas, you saw
Vegas,
somebody who had
that
seen
knew
the show.
shirt. I had my consistency over time equals success shirt on.
No. And they recognized you from that.
They recognized the shirt.
Dude, that's awesome.
And so
cool.
I sit there. I spent probably 15-20 minutes just sitting there shooting a breeze with him, and had an absolute great time with him. And they said they were going to pop in tonight. I don't know if we were all drinking
like
you do. And but I was just like, are you kidding me,
dude? You've been recognized a few times from this show.
Well, yeah, I'm fat, so it's easy. I'm easy to see.
But that is cool.
It's strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats. My threat is I could die any day of a heart attack. The opportunity is people are going to recognize me a little bit more.
The opportunities are, people are going to recognize me. The threats are, liver damage.
Yeah.
But so opportunities and threats are going to be external, right? So your opportunities are going to be things, again, great customer feedback, technology advantages that you might have.
It's confirmed Dave is famous.
It is confirmed. It's crazy how people recognize you. Now the threats, again, these are going to be external, okay? These are going to be things as far as, cost of supplies, upcoming market trends. That's one that everybody's afraid of right now. A downturn in the economy is a downturning
economy.
Negative technology changes.
That downturning economy can actually be used and leveraged in certain ways. That even if the market goes down, it historically there are segments inside of segmented markets that do very, 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 very well.
Right. Well, when the economy bounces back, that's why you want to start low. You buy low. Then you sell high. So when the economy goes down or about to go down, that's when you buy in.
I never heard this before. Well, I mean, I've heard it other ways, but this guy, I was talking to a guy listening to a guy the other day, and he wasn't in person. It wasn't face to face. And, he's talking about, you said a number on, let's say your, what's it, the Dogecoin, right?
Oh, yeah.
You said a number of Dogecoin. When it gets to $1, I'm going to sell. but you bought it at this rate. But when it gets back to what I bought it for, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to sell. If you're not going to sell until it gets back to what you bought it for, why are you not buying more?
Well, right. Exactly. You buy more when it's low, and then you sell
Yeah.
later. If you're positive it's going to get back up to where
If
it
you
was,
get back to what,
then
if you
buy
get it
more
back
now.
to where, if you're like, oh, I just want to get back so I can break even, you're an idiot.
Right, exactly.
You're an idiot. And I mean, if the name of the company is Enron, okay, yeah, fine, you sell. But other than that, I mean, in general, you're going to make the right decision by going
Right.
ahead and buying more.
Right.
So, so just because it's a downturn in the market, there are things that are going to impact that, but there are also ways to mitigate and handle those as well. I mean, I work for a really, really, really big company, and we look at that.
Mm-hmm.
We try to stay ahead of it. We don't want to get caught in behind. We make decisions that are going to impact 2-3 years. Well, let's take a look at what's going to be for the 18 months. I mean, we all see this. I mean, the capital projects and whatnot. So, big companies look at it. If the big companies looking at it, little companies, small guys, one guy, one shop, drown me in brownies, you should be looking at it.
Oh, 100%. Again, we mentioned this, might have been our second or third show, the downturn in 2008, the Great Recession, they called it.
We've mentioned it many times, yes.
And the companies that came out during that,
companies that came out of that,
2008 and 2010 are massive, gigantic. Instagram, Uber, huge companies that changed, they're world-changing now. I mean, most people can't live without them now.
Jiminy Christmas. For the love of all things holy, do not take Uber away from me. Me and Uber are like, we're like,
right.
I can send food to people, to customers at random from sitting here at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get home when I'm drunk.
Well, yeah.
I can send other people, which I've done. I've been out partying, having a fun time with clients and whatnot. And maybe, they're a little, inebriated because, that does tend to happen when you hang with me. And I can send them home in an Uber, and there's no risk to them at all. If they call me the next day, I can Uber them back. And so all of that is, just makes a real, don't make me live without Uber. Don't pick on Uber.
Right. But my point is, so Laura Airlines Black.
Yeah, the point is they came out of, oh yeah, hi there. So so yes, it does. So that comment right there has no context, but I know exactly which comment I spoke that cued him to say that, and it was going and hanging with me. There's a good possibility you can get inebriated.
Well, yes, it does.
Yes,
and it could actually get you kicked out of an Uber in a Taco Bell drive-thru.
Okay, all right.
No comment beyond that.
The alcohol had nothing to do with it. That was that guy being a putz and not willing to make extra cash. Because we were willing to pay him cash. Yes, West and I have been kicked out of an Uber in a Taco Bell parking lot and had to call another Uber in the parking lot to try to wait in line because Taco Bell won't serve you unless you're in a car.
Interesting times. So anyway, buy low, sell high is where that comes from, and that came
buy
from,
low, sell high. That is. I mean, that's been around forever. I mean, that's not news.
But that comes from threats. So downturns in economies could be a potential threat. Regulations. So one of the threats with dog treats, right? The pet industry.
Yep.
Dog treats specifically count as animal feed, which means I have to register this fine delicacy in every single state. The Department of Agriculture of every single individual state, which has their own rules, their own regulations, their own fees, each one. So, threats, external cons. Okay, so you got your strengths and weaknesses, which are internal pros and cons. You have your opportunities and threats, which are external pros and cons. SWOT analysis. When you line all of these things up, and you actually look at the grid of where the strengths, where the weaknesses, and you evaluate what can be overcome versus what can't. You find out where your bottlenecks are. You find out where you can grow and overcome the challenges. You can really make much better decisions than you could just by saying, oh, it's a good idea, or, oh, that kind of sucks. What am I going to do now?
I didn't realize how bright my lights were. I just looked over here at the camera. I'm completely side topic there. That's all Dave right there at the moment. I was listening to West and talking about it, but I happen to look down at this camera or this monitor down here, and I'm like, gee, many Christmas, I am whitewashed out. So I turned these things way down, but I moved them closer today. I should have moved them back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't look as sexy as I normally do.
I was thinking that.
Or-
I was wondering what the heck was
Or
going
do
on.
I? I don't know.
So what I made, I actually made a sheet of a SWOT analysis. If anybody wants
What
it,
the
we
sheet
can,
are you
we
talking
can send
about?
you a link to this
Yes.
thing. Let me know. I created a whole sheet where it kind of explains what the
Yep.
what the different quadrants of the SWOT are, and a blank version you can fill out for yourself at home. So if you're
And
interested
you
in this
should.
at all, let me know. I'll send you a link to this.
So I know we got
Pretty
Drown Me
valuable.
and Brownies here, or at least her husband's on the line. This is something you should be looking at, getting into and starting to have a honest conversation with yourself about how you can leverage this. If this is what you want to do, and this is where you want to go, and this is how you want to go with it, you need to start having an honest conversation with yourself, and that's very important. And before any of this, you have to come down to the fact that you're going to make mistakes. You are going to mess up.
And
It's
you will.
going to cost. And you have to be ready for that. You cannot. There's no giving up on the first time. If I were to add anything to the SWOT, I would make it swatted with an apostrophe D.
Okay.
And disruptors. And disruptors, to me, would be the hybrid of your weaknesses and your threats, because they are things that can adversely affect your business, but they can come from the internal and external. And
So give
that
us
would be
an
the
example.
only addition. So let's say you have a core demographic, but there's a movement, and you try to make a shift and you try to sell to somebody outside of your 80/20. That's a disruptor. That is something that can really disrupt your business to the tune of $5-6 billion. That is things that you've got to watch out for internally, and taking your heart and running with it. That's all great until there's money on the line. To get off of the political aspect of it and take it to another example that we've had on the show is we showed a YouTube channel where this guy was talking. We had one of the guys, and I don't remember what his name was, but talking about this, that, and the other. And then he came across a hair loss video, and he was, fighting baldness. I'm not fighting. I'm losing like a champ. Those videos did very well. And so then he went away from it, and then he came back and they did very well. So, he found a niche that he didn't really know that he had. And if he wanted to succeed, he could do that, but he could be his own internal disruptor and say, I'm going to make the decision to do this, and I'm going to find a much smaller market. I'm going to do this. Or he could embrace it. Or you could have an external person coming. Now, your external threats, your external is still going to be the threat end of it. The market changes. Competition is a huge part of it. So these are things, technology. So I'm in the electronic world, fire and security and things of that nature. Home security. Home security is dead on a corporate level now. It is dead.
Is it because
Ring?
I was going to say because of Ring and Simply Safe
and Simply Safe.
Yep.
They just killed it.
You're right.
That was a disruptor that the big businesses didn't take seriously, and now it's gone.
Right. They didn't take it seriously until it was too late.
Market ADT. Have you seen an ADT commercial on TV lately?
No, you're right.
No,
100%.
because they didn't take it seriously, and now they're all but gone.
Right.
So they still have some things out there. There are some, but a lot of it's commercial. Home security. It's gone. They didn't SWOT it out. They didn't look at that threat. They didn't look at that disruptor. And those two companies right there, Ring and Simply Safe leading the way, by the way, absolutely cleaned their clock.
John Callender says, still kick myself for going with ADT instead of Adobe. I'm assuming he's not talking about the same Adobe that makes Photoshop.
I don't know.
Is Adobe a home
in this
security?
industry? I don't know what Adobe. Yeah.
Also, ADT uses strictly Google Ring product now. Interesting. They're outsourcing to other companies who do this. So like Google Home.
So
and Ring, of course, is owned by Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah. So at some point, wait a minute, who's owned by Amazon?
Ring.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's probably. My Ring stuff here integrates with my. I can say Amazon's, right? Yeah, Amazon's. Amazon. You can't say the word. You can't say the person's name. I can't say.
Oh, Alexa.
the Google Alexa or Siri.
Hey Alexa, order 500
because
pizzas to David's house.
Earbuds, bud.
Yeah.
Earbuds. Yes. So, I've got them around the house. And so I have no privacy. The FBI tracks me very well.
I believe it.
Adobe is the Apple HomeKit compatible system.
Interesting.
Okay. So I thought HomeKit was available or on a bigger
Yeah, I don't know
scale,
HomeKit.
but yeah. But with the Apple thing. So yeah, you can look for those disruptors. And you know what? It could be almost interchangeable, disruptors and threats. But I would just allow for threats to be internal, not necessarily always external. So that would be the only difference I would say in this. And that's just one of the things.
But if it's internal, wouldn't it be a weakness then?
Is it going to piss off my core?
I would call that a weakness.
I mean, there is a marketing campaign right now. You know what? We're not talking the politics of it.
Okay.
We're talking the business aspect of it. Okay. The politics are what the politics are, and we don't give a flying flip about the politics. It's not what our job is.
Okay.
But Anheuser-Busch,
I knew you were going
Bud
there.
Light
I knew you were
went
going
out. Yeah. And went out and they put a campaign together and created themselves. I'm not going to talk about the campaign. I'm going to talk about what the impacts were and how it worked. The campaign itself became its very own disruptor. What they did was they had somebody look at the market, they read the market, and they said, I don't care about this market, the one who brings. Now, Bud Light's like the number one drink beer in the world. Yes, you were losing market share. You're losing market share because people are getting different palates and people are changing things.
Right.
They're going to IPAs and things like that. That's what aided the Bud Light market.
Very strong, very dedicated core demographic.
They were still the number one beer in the freaking world.
Right.
So there's a lot to say about that. I mean, there's a lot of people drinking that. And they specifically targeted a different demographic, a different market to go after. And it absolutely, and it doesn't matter. Again, the politics don't matter in this situation.
Yeah. So here's
the thing is, you went after this and you alienated your core.
So I'm going to take it a step further and get a little more detailed. Again, not getting into politics, not getting into specifics.
Yes.
It wasn't necessarily their choice for that specific campaign. We'll call it a campaign.
Yeah.
It was,
which it should be. That's how we need to look at it.
It was the response of the VP of marketing.
That did not help.
That's what made people mad. That's what made people mad because this person's response directly, I mean, it verbatim is basically.
Well, you can't say verbatim and then say basically.
Okay, so not verbatim.
So essentially, she said.
Essentially, you can go back and look for the interview, but there was there's a video interview where this person was saying, "Well, I was specifically tasked with changing the direction of this brand. The old campaigns were fratty and immature and out of touch, and yada yada yada. Basically, crapping on everything this brand had built since its inception.
Years.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And the people who were hardcore dedicated to it liked the stuff they were doing. Basically, this person said, "Hey, we don't need these people anymore. We want these people over here." So all the people over here are like, "Well, okay, you don't want me.
You don't need me. I'll find other ways
go
to do it.
someplace else." And that was the mistake. It wasn't the original campaign. They could have played it off.
John.
With the original campaign, they could have easily come out and said, "You know what? It was one partner, one campaign that we did. And you know what? We still love you. And we love them. And we love everybody." But that wasn't the response. That's what made people mad. Yeah.
So it was how you handle it. So in this case, Anheuser-Busch or InBev created their own disruptor, their own threat.
Mm-hmm.
Their threat was they do have a threat external. Okay, there's no debate about that. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light does have a threat because people are switching over to more craft beers. A marketing campaign is not going to necessarily a commercial, commercial on TV. Because guess what? That's not where your people are consuming this.
It was mishandled, and I'll tell you how you can still do it. You can do it through marketing. Here's how you do it. You don't do it through a serious, massive change in core demographic. You don't do that. Here's what you do. You do drip campaigns that reinvigorate your core audience while hopefully bringing in new people
Yes.
into that
If-
core audience. Okay?
Yes.
You don't
If
have to
you're
alienate
looking-
these to include these. You drip campaign and bring people together. Bring together more people
Yes.
into your core audience while reinvigorating your original audience. It's
So
totally
there's a
doable,
lot
and
of
people do it
words that
all
we
the
can't
time.
use. Yeah, so there's a lot of words that we can't use. And if I were trying to explain this, I would have to use those words. So I'm very appreciative of West because he understands and knows the nomenclature to be able to roll this stuff in, talking about inclusivity and things of that nature that, you know, may run us down a road to get to politics. But we're not talking politics. We're talking about the business aspect of the marketing and the sales aspect of it, of where it goes. And that was I think it was, you know, there are people who have made bigger mistakes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So young lady from Anheuser-Busch, you know what? Guess what? Everybody screws up. Not everybody screws up to $6 billion, but, you know, whatever. You have that. You know, look at the executives. We're not talking about a marketing campaign. We're talking about, you know, executives of Sony and other places that have made much larger.
Oh, yeah. There have been
much,
bigger
much
mistakes.
larger mistakes.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up for it. It's a learning opportunity. Learn from it. And
you know
take that into your next job,
and
because I don't think you're going to be with
And
him
here's
that
the
much
thing.
longer.
Here's the thing. I'm not even saying the original campaign or partnership was a mistake. I'm not even saying that. I don't think it necessarily was a mistake. I think it was handled wrong, and I think the response was wrong. That's where the
So the
mistake
campaign, no, so the campaign was an issue. When you're going to, you know, we're getting too close to
we're not getting
politics.
okay, we won't get political.
So actually, John actually stated it pretty well, because your core base is here. The campaign was so far on one side or the other. I don't care, right, left, take your pick. It doesn't really matter. Front, back, it doesn't matter. It is so far off of center where your main money comes from that it was going to be very hard. So doing the drip campaign to try to bring that into one, that would be much better. So basically what we're saying is Anheuser-Busch, instead of paying billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars or millions of dollars to another company to come up with ideas, reach out to West and I. We can come up with an ad campaign that will work for you. We can come up with ideas that actually suit that and meet your social goal that you're trying to get as well.
Right. So John Callender asks,
Without all
can
of
you
it.
bring in that fringe group that are so far away from the core
Right
base?
there.
And that's what I was saying. You absolutely can.
Yes.
If you
absolutely
handle
can.
it correctly,
Yes.
Here's what you do. You don't go far this way or far that way. You
That's right. You don't do
reinvigorate
it.
the core while including a new audience.
Introducing.
Right.
Yes.
There
You
is
sell to the core,
absolutely room
introduce
for
the
that.
new audience.
Right. There's
But they didn't
absolutely
do
room for
that.
And you're right. They
Yes.
didn't do it.
And they did do it. It was the interview, the almost Skype level interview after that was released out there, was probably one of the worst things for the brand.
That response again, that's what made people mad. That was the biggest mistake.
That was
Had that response been handled
irresponsible.
Had that response been handled better, I'll say that.
Do not put John's comments on the screen.
Yeah. John Callender, you're going to get us in trouble, my friend.
So this was okay. This was hard on West. This was hard on West and Dave to stay away from this topic for the last couple of weeks.
Because it's so politically driven.
But both of us want to talk about this because it is an excellent example of some of the things that we have been talking about, how you sell to your core.
Understanding your core audience. Understanding your demographic.
You create an avatar.
Your customer avatar, yes.
And how do you sell to it? And that is how it goes. So it's very complicated sometimes to be able to do this. Are there ways to do things? And, you know, the only reason things are political is because we make them political. If we stop making them political and we look at them from a business lens or a social lens or things like that, then they're not. And that's, you know, we gave it a couple of weeks to kind of die down. But with the threats and talking about disruptors and things like that tonight, I think it was rightly timed and the way we approached it, I think, is the right way. So I'm not going to offer any apologies out there. So if anybody calls, we don't care.
What's from a business perspective? We're not talking
It's
politics.
from a business perspective. You want to talk about politics, call Steve.
Call
somebody.
Call John Callender. He'll give you the rundown.
Yeah, call John.
Devin Ross can probably tell you what for.
Yeah, Devin Ross will tell you. We're not interested in politics. You know, I one of these days I actually might get into politics. And then
if we had a political show, dude, I'm telling you, we'd never run out of topics.
Yes, I'd be behind a golden What is this? This is a Shure. I'd be behind the golden Shure
Behind the
mic
golden
at this
Shure
point
microphone.
with my nicotine stained hands. That's where that's what I'd be. But I'm not going to be there. But dum 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 dum. And
Oh man, now we owe EIB $50,000.
well, it's not EIB. That's actually quite interesting that that specific show, which we won't mention, actually used that song without paying royalties for many, many, many years.
Oh really?
They got it all
that.
worked out. They did get it all worked out eventually, but for a long time, it wasn't licensed
Whoops.
to be used in that way.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's it. I think all in all, I think I see you guys not. I see you guys not of the Steven Crowder group. Okay, I don't know who Steven Crowder is. Do you know who Steven Crowder is?
I do know Steven Crowder. He has Louder with Crowder. It's a
I've heard that name before.
it's a
Louder,
morning
now that you say
political
Louder with
commentary
Crowder.
show. It's very, very comedy based and very, very politically driven. So if you want to talk politics and have a laugh, that's the place to go.
So what do you guys think? You think we should just give up this business thing and just switch over to politics and
Here's the
just
thing.
open it up?
If
and
David,
have blast?
if we want to lose our day jobs one way or the other, quit or be fired, we can totally do politics. But you can't do politics today and have a normal day job. You can't do it. The two do not mix.
Yeah. Yeah. And I work for a big company and
The two don't mix. So unless your business is politics, keep your business out of politics.
but that's what she said. So you're saying you have to now, Anna, what are you doing? You're just encouraging them now.
Anna, don't encourage John.
You put that up on the screen? Now that people can go back and be like, oh, what did he say?
Well, it'll encourage engagement. I'm trying to get
That's
engagement
right.
on these
It
videos.
is. That definitely, when you pull it out slow, it definitely encourages engagement. Oh, that was dead silent. That was dead silent.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
That's what she said.
That's what he said.
Oh man.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is when
so
the
what
show
time
starts
we
to
got?
break down. That's when you know it's time.
No, it's 8:23. It's early yet. We're good. We are. I'm only a couple bourbons in. So I got to tell you, circling back, we all know about the summer shandy from Leinenkugel. If you don't, you should definitely try it. It does give you a great citrus zing for your drink. So if you're sitting out by a pool, that's the
Summer
beer to
shandy
be
is
drinking.
darn tasty. Like on a hot day,
It is.
It's darn tasty.
Yeah. And we have learned that the Southern Tier bourbon is actually quite tasty. So if you are looking for something that can just, if you are not a huge bourbon drinker and you're looking for something that doesn't offer that huge, that bourbon burn, feel the burn.
The burn.
And maybe it's just me drinking out of this amazing glass from my good buddy Keith.
That's cool.
That's from the Blackened family.
Nice.
But I've still got. You can still hear it in a little bit. I've got a little bit of the one ice cube.
Yeah.
that I
Ice
put
does
in
not
there.
melt in a Yeti.
It's
It
still
doesn't.
in there.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm on my third or fourth ice cube doing a podcast at an hour and a half.
And that's also going to
That's
get you in
usually where
trouble
I'm at.
because that's how you can drink more bourbons by putting ice. It melts it, waters it down. It's not being watered down because the ice isn't melting. Yetis are
Yeah, that's
incredible.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never. So I had a lot of people talking about Yeti, the can koozies,
Mhm.
right? And they're talking about 12-ounce can of beer. And they're like, well, this keep this thing cold for 2 hours or 24 hours. I'm like, dude,
How long does it take you to drink
are
a beer?
you drinking beer? Are you knitting, man? What the hell?
Right.
You need something to keep your beer cold that long. You got problems. A 12-ounce can of beer to me is a shot.
Yeah. David, do you have a normal
No.
sized can next to you so you can pick it up and show the audience what it looks like in your hand?
I don't. I mean, that's. I gave my fridge to Noah. I haven't brought the kegerator in here yet.
So, to normal
Um,
people holding a beer, it looks like a normal sized beer. If David were holding this, it would look
Yeah.
like a shot glass.
Yeah. So there's the we'll flip it around here. It says this is the bottle for this is a 750, right? Yeah. This is a 750, and that's a good. I mean, I'm not going to drink that at one shot. That's a lot of alcohol. But all in all, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I'm very pleasantly surprised with Southern Tier Distilling Company or high process. What was it that John called it? Miles per gallon or something like that.
Yeah, the
mass grain production
Mass
or something like
grain
that.
production.
Yeah. So whatever it is, whoever's making the Southern Tier straight bourbon, uh, good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job.
Oh, by the way,
That's good.
So Laura Lyons Black is also celebrating Nikki Leffingwell's birthday. She's saying happy birthday to Nikki. So happy birthday,
And
Nikki.
well, that's what we all should be doing, is saying happy birthday to Nikki.
There you go. So happy birthday, Nikki. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday.
Exactly.
It's all the dancing I'm doing.
It's
Nobody wants to see me dance.
No, nobody ever wants to see either one of us dance. I get it.
No.
Hey, where is we need to get Shannon Black on this show to talk about the fishing competition coming up.
Yeah, what the
we gotta
frig?
start hammering down these details.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened. Whoo! I just ate that last piece of ice that was in there, and it was whoo. There was a little bit of a burn with that one. Ooh, that one woke me up. But yeah, we've got a limited time now here on when we're going to do this the fishing tournament. Hopefully we don't have to push it off, but then we can get some people active on it and moving. There are other things afoot this summer, so hopefully we can get all of that stuff in and worked out. I still haven't heard back. I don't know if you guys know about this, but we're trying to work out a cigar charity event, and we're still waiting on a municipality to. Yeah, I'm sorry. A few bourbons in there. Municipality is one of those things that you can really go astray with. Yeah. Yes, and the Prime Minister of Sweden went to France. No. So Big Bear Paul's Dave. Yes,
it's true.
That's right.
He does.
So I'm in. Okay, so I'm in Dallas, and I'm out with people from my company. We get back to the hotel. I'm like, dude, I'm going down here. Come with me. And everybody else punks out. So I rock in to this pub.
Okay. And
a guy I'd met the night before at a cigar lounge, and right next to the cigar lounge is this pub. And he does some design and engineering stuff for surgery centers. And so I come in, he's like, hey, and there's music playing and everything over there. So we go there, we keep drinking. And then we go on, and I end up at a VFW.
Okay.
So I end up drinking at a VFW on I think it was a Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night in Dallas. And we were talking about bear paws there. Just a great time. I don't know if I have never been to a VFW. I can't say that now. I have now. But for the love of all things holy,
okay,
that if you get a chance, if somebody invites you, take them up on the offer.
So VFWs are the place to go, huh?
I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to say, if you've never been and you get an opportunity to go do it.
All right, good to know.
You are almost automatically in with some just kick-ass people.
So I'm picturing like a moose lodge, only slightly older.
There was a couple older people there, but we are getting older, so they're about our age.
Right. So when I say old people, I mean basically guys our age.
It's us.
Who are not aging as gracefully as you and I.
Oh, sweet mother of God. If somebody was to send me to like send me to the club, I ain't going. I ain't going. If I rock in there and everybody's like 25 and under or 30 and under, I want nothing to do with it. I'm out. Yeah. I'm washing my hands. I want nothing to do with that. Could you imagine? Okay, so now that we're done with our SWOT analysis and now we're just goofing off, guys, I want our viewers, which I seen Dan McDonald's on here now. Yeah. Would you all want to go to a place that was filled with people from 21 to 29?
That sounds awful.
Oh my God, does it sound awful?
I remember the last time I dated a girl who was 19. So the last teenager I ever dated, it was the worst thing ever. Trying to speak, trying to have a conversation with somebody of that age difference. You're like, are you that dumb? Are you pretending to be dumb? I don't know what's happening right now. It was bad. It was bad.
Pretending to be dumb.
It was bad. Dude, David, I could tell you some stories, man.
Oh,
stories.
No doubt, man.
Okay,
no doubt.
So I had a.
Go ahead. I got one behind you here.
Right.
Go for it.
This is not even a joke, and this is only one of the several stories. Okay, so I had a.
And now's the time for your wife to dial into the Underdog journey.
So I had a friend
talking about one of my ex-girlfriends. All right.
So I had a friend from college who was getting married, and she's from Brazil. I went to art school, very international school. And she sent me an invitation, to go down to Brazil and see her wedding. I was dating this girl. I was like, man, I really wish I could go. That'd be amazing. And she's like, yeah, I've always wanted to go to Europe. And
I'm sorry. Wait. I thought you said Brazil.
Yeah, I did. And so I stopped.
Oh, okay.
I stopped.
Oh, that's part of the story. Okay.
Yeah. So I stopped. I'm like, and I had to think about it. And I was like, where do you think Brazil is? and then she realizes she said something really dumb, but she doesn't know what. And she's like,
that's the greatest thing.
Right. No, so it gets better. It gets better
for her because I say a lot of dumb stuff.
So it gets better. So she realizes that she said something really dumb, but she doesn't know what. So she stops and she thinks for a second. And slowly she says, "It's a country in Spain?" To which, again, I stop and I got to think about this whole thing. Have you ever heard something so dumb that it's like a 404 error just hits in your head? It's like it's the blue screen of death.
So
basically hits
I
your brain.
posted that
It's
on
so
Facebook
dumb.
the other day. There was a vending machine that had one of its rows was 404 and it was empty. And I found it funny as hell. But the comments on it from the people who don't get it were just like, "Oh, it's missing. It just needs to be restocked," and things like. I'm sitting there going, "What? Brazil in Europe?
Yeah,
it's a small country. It's a small country.
It's a country in Spain. Think about that."
Oh man!
And I'm just it's and I have a few of these stories from this same person, and it's at a certain point I'm like, man, public school has failed you.
Dismally. So I'm at a sorority house, right?
Okay. Uh-oh.
I'm there walking
around.
Right,
so good thing this is an after dark show.
I'm gonna tell this story first. So there's two stories to go here back to back. They were on the same exact day. I'm down there working and I'm just doing my thing. And when we go on the floor, they come in and announce, "Hey, man on floor." So they come in and they announce man on floor. The lady turns around, the house mom, whatever, turns around, walks back downstairs. And I'm up there looking around. I literally just walk up there. So the lady's walking down the stairs. I turn around and this girl's coming out and she's gorgeous redhead. And she's got a towel. She's coming out of the shower. And, so, all right, little sidestep here. When I go to an adult entertainment facility, I got to be careful about my expression because when the redhead walks on stage, she's like, "That's my sucker right there. I'm going to get all of his money." So she walks out. She walks out in a towel and just holding it out and getting ready to wrap it around her. And she's just like, "Oh, hi." And then she just bebops off without even bother putting the towel around her, by the way.
Okay.
And I'm just like, this new generation of kids, they're just odd.
These whippersnappers.
Yeah, these whippersnappers over here, they're in my damn lawn.
These whippersnappers and their perky parts that defy gravity.
It was nice. But no, so I continue. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna take that as a perk for today's job. And then I'm working my way through, and I end up in the basement of this place, and these two girls are down there. And they are just, to me, they're chattering freaking birds. And they're talking. And I just stop. I'm working on this blah, 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 blah. And I just stop. And I'm listening to them. I'm like, I literally stop. So, "Are you speaking English?"
Right. Are those words that you're saying? What's happening right now?
And they just kind of giggle. Like, "You think I'm asking a funny question?" No, I'm not trying to be funny. I literally cannot understand what you are saying.
I don't know what you just said
right now. They are just chitter. I'm thinking, I really wish the problem was back upstairs with the naked chick, but the problem's actually down here. And now I've got to try to fix it while listening to what are you? So
right.
If you were to send me into a place that just had 21, and I'm saying 21 just for drinking, but you could 21 to 30, and even now I'm older. I mean, even early 30s now. I'm like,
you're a different
way.
animal.
Just
Well, Devin Ross says,
please shut up.
Devin Ross says, I'm not letting this go, David and West. You wouldn't have a drink with me because I'm 26? Haha. Devin,
You're a married man with multiple kids. You're cool.
Yeah, that's true. Once you have kids, that brings you into the real world.
So now here we're going to alienate the ladies real quick.
Uh-oh.
Once you're married, you know what torture is, so you can hang with us. And by torture, you never know that you've done something stupid. Like make a comment about married men being tortured on your wife's birthday.
Nikki Leffingwell, you're a lucky lady. You're a lucky lady.
She really is. She really is.
Well, that's true. You have multiple wings to your house. I mean, some you've never even been in. You have multiple wine cellars, like a 5-car garage, a walk-in humidor.
I've only got 3-car garage.
A monocle collection.
I don't have a single monocle. What am I doing with my life?
Actually, you know, when I want glasses, I'm gonna get a monocle because I just
two.
I'm gonna get 2
screw
monocles.
that. I
So
want
walk around
2
like this.
monocles. 2 monocles, and people just be like, "What?" I would be those 2 girls talking like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Right.
So now that we are getting clattered, so Dan McDonald says, "Happy birthday, Nikki! Thank you so very much. I'll tell my wife that you passed that along." And so as I was saying, we are getting more live viewers now that we are into the Dave and West just literally just goofing off the part of the night.
Is it because we're goofing off, or is it because it's later? Should we start the show later? Do you think 7's
Should
too
we
early?
put that out there? Hey guys, actually we put it to you guys a month ago or 2 months ago.
Yeah.
If there was maybe a change in time, should we move this to a Friday night, Saturday night, or a Sunday night, or some night when you can get to it, or should we just
even a
move
later
it
time?
on, the Wednesday, Thursday, and move it to a later time, and just start at 8 p.m. instead?
Right. Yeah, 7 might be too early for people because my
It
kids
might
go to
be.
bed at 8.
So maybe 8:15. Maybe we do 8:30. I mean, I've got no problem. I'm a big boy. I can stay up till 9:30 or 10 watching the
We are
Netflixes.
full-grown men. We can stay up till almost 10 o'clock at night now.
Dude, if I see the inside of my eyelids before midnight now, it's crazy. It's crazy. So Anna Calendar, so live podcast city to city.
That's Dan McDonald says live podcast city to city. Anna Calendar said start later, pregame ahead of time. Anna, I like the way you think.
So yeah,
I'm not putting John's
I'm not
back on the screen.
opposed
I did
that
for a
you're not going to
second.
do the late night fuckery. Come on, man. John Calendar says Friday night fuckery from the Underdog Journey.
That's what we'll call it. That's the name of the next show.
Yes, indeed. That would be, nothing but I can get rid of the agenda. I've had the agenda up here the whole time. Now I can switch over to the full show and I can actually see what's going on.
Agenda schmishmenda.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to talk about? I mean, what kind of business things do you have? And every single one of you guys have it. And that's been, again, the core of what we've said is, get your ass up and go.
Yeah. So we need to get Devin Ross on here to talk about Drown Me in Brownies. And
we don't need
growing
Devin
that
Ross.
business.
We need Emily Ross. And I remembered her name tonight.
Yeah, Devin, get your wife on here. So Dan McDonald, Anna Calendar, John Calendar, all you guys out there watching and listening, what are your business ideas? Everybody out there has $1 million idea, I promise you. You just got to be able to act on it.
So Dan McDonald says happy 420, y'all. So that's the second person now.
Look, people enjoy what they enjoy.
Agenda. Oh my
Thanks,
Lord,
John. You're a big help.
Everyone would log in on Friday night fuckery. Okay. Emily will fill 3 hours of the show.
So Devin Ross says, seeing as SWOT analysis was 10% of the episode. That's true. That's typically how we go.
Bikini Barber. Actually,
you know what? That's not a bad idea.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I had a dentist back when I was in college. I had a dentist I went to who was she was structured in a way that would be appealing to the male.
She was anatomically pleasing.
She was very, very in all the right places, very much so. And when they're in there working on your mouth, they're pressed up very.
Usually the other way around.
they're pressed right up against your head, and it was an interesting experience going to the dentist. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. But look, you're right.
I've never been to a dentist that needed a happy ending, man.
John, bikini bartender, that's not a bad idea.
Not bartender, barber. Bikini barber.
Well, barber. Okay, barber. So I missed.
Yeah,
I misread
bikini
that.
bartender's been done, man.
Bikini bartender, that has been done. Bikini barber,
And the bikini bartender gets done. So I mean, it works. But bikini barber. So you're going to have a market. So okay. So Dave's business mind just flipped, right? Went full tilt. There's going to be a market for that, and it's going to be a big market. You're going to get a lot of stuff out the beginning. It's going to have a lot of buzz and a lot of talk. One of the things you have to know is, as people go through, when I go, so my hair is bugging the crap out of me. I've been traveling so much, I haven't had a chance to get my hair cut. But I like to go into a place that is, I like the traditional haircut. I want to go that. I personally, I would go one time. I would let them screw my hair up one time to do the bikini barber. Because,
Well, David, you need to come down to Columbus once a month and go to Kenji's place.
So I thought about it, coming down and see Kenji Prince there. So if you guys don't know, old familiar barbershop in Columbus, Ohio, ran by Kenji Prince and his crew down there. Absolute amazing. If you want to go get that old school barber, I'm taking care of you. We're going to talk about Barney and his single bullet. That's the place to go. Right. I mean, they are just amazing. They do a great job on haircuts. And Kenji's just top.
That is a cool place.
It really is.
I'm almost not even cool enough to go in there. It's so cool.
Yeah, well, luckily I'm cool enough that I get in everywhere. People's like, "Hey, sir, can I see your cool?" Oh, I'm sorry, Dave, I didn't notice it was you.
Oh, I see your T-shirt. I see your Underdog T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's the one that.
Yeah, I see the Underdog T-shirt. Consistency over time.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So the guy's like, I recognized it. I knew it meant something. And I started talking about it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, the podcast." I'm like, mother, father, what are you talking about? There's absolutely no way that you know who I am. And so we just sit there and chit chat back and forth. And we're talking about bikini and wait a minute. What was that? Wait, what was that?
Bikini and bourbon bartender, or barber rather. I keep saying bartender. Bikini and bourbon barber.
Okay. All right.
If you're gonna do it,
here you go.
Do it right. Anna, you're 100% right.
You are right. If you're going to do it right. So here's the rub. So you want to sell to let's say we want to sell to men. I'm not talking about boys. I'm not talking about.
By the way, Dan McDonald, I like your comment. I'm not putting it on the screen, but I like it.
Who needs DDD when you have?
Oh well, now I'll put it on the screen because David just read the thing.
I don't know.
Who needs triple D's when you have BB and B?
Okay.
It's taking David a sec. Hey, David, Google triple D's and let me know what you come up with.
Well, I'm gonna guess they're boobies.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing they're boobies, but the BB and B is what I'm talking about.
Bikinis, bourbon, and barbers?
And barbers. Okay. All right. That seems like a logo. The greater than and less than sign coming into mind. Anyway. So let's say to me, I've always wanted to start a men's store, right? That is kind of, it seems odd. It's not really what people would place me with. But when I say a men's store, I mean, I want suits. I want high-end stuff. Mm-hmm. I want cigars that you smoke in the room with the freaking suits.
Right.
I want bourbon served to you. I want the customer service aspect of it is just there. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but it's there. Mm-hmm. It is just there.
Yeah.
And it just takes away from that. I'm going to walk in the store and just buy whatever's least objectionable.
Right.
And, us guys, we have gotten into this scenario or this world where we literally just go along with the least objectionable. And
that's basically
it shouldn't
our life
be that
now.
way.
That's basically our whole life.
Yeah.
That's a man's life now.
Experience. It's all about experience. Exactly. So maybe you're not cigars and bourbon. Maybe you're like, hey, I like the bourbon. I'm not a fan of cigars. So maybe we have a separate lounge where we can do the cigars over here if that's what you're into, and a cigar and a non-smoking one over there. But I want the whole thing listed as a cigar lounge.
Right.
That way I can do it. And from a legal and business standpoint. And to me, that's custom shoes, denim jeans. I want because I spend a lot of money on a pair of freaking jeans. I know Matt Harmon loves to tee off on me about the Duluth Trading Company, but these are
It's quality stuff, though.
high quality stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, Dan McDonald, you get what you pay for. Exactly. So I'm willing to give that premium experience. And I'm not talking about, and that's where I come from with the, right there. Devin Ross just posted, Sports Clip tried to create experience, but that's just a mediocre barbershop. So, yes. So I'm going to tell you a story.
All right. Is it a Sports Clip story?
Very bad.
That's an interesting. Okay.
Yes. So my first time in Sports Clips.
All right.
And I've never been there before.
I've never been to one.
Because I like going to barbershops.
I don't care
if I can get away with it, I want to go to
sports is the name. I'm not going to go. It's a whole thing.
Yes. So I go there and they cut my hair and they do their job on it, right? And it was nothing for me to complain. You mess up my hair, I don't care. It'll be back in 6 weeks, and I'll have to get it cut again, no matter how bad you did.
Right.
So I don't care. I'm never going to complain. And so she's like, "Would you like to join me in the locker or the shower room or something like that?" And I'm like, I literally just snapped around. I was like, "What kind of place is this?"
She really wanted the tip.
Well, what hashtag? That's what I said. So they have a thing over there about shower room, and that's where they go and they wash your hair afterwards, and they put the warm towel on you and things like that. But I had never been there before, and she said that. I'm just like, I'm sorry, pardon me. Come again?
What?
I'm like, I'm married, but maybe a little.
I mean, as long as you don't tell my wife,
Yeah, well, yeah. I was like, what? I literally snapped around. I was like, what kind of place is this? That's literally the words I used on her. And it wasn't meant as a joke. I had no clue. She's like, oh, that's back where we wash. Do you want to get your hair washed afterwards? And I don't know about you, but I love having my hair washed afterwards because it really, you don't itch as bad after.
Fair enough. Okay.
But yeah. So I'm like, well, yeah. And then I found out what it all was about, and there was just a slogan. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, see, that's
that's
setting false expectations. That's not fair.
What's that? Nuru or something like that. Don't Google. Actually, do Google that, but I'm going to pretend like I'm telling you. Don't Google that.
Nuru.
Yes, massage.
All right. I'm not going to
so anyway, my hair looked like one of those core samples where they could see every layer of ancient rock. That sounds like more of a you problem and less of a them problem.
I think they make medicated shampoos.
John knew what I was talking about right out the gate.
John, whatever you do, Anna, don't look at John's search history.
Yes.
Maybe do whatever you're into. I'm not judging.
Yeah, I'm judging, but that's okay. All right. So people are like, well, I'm not judging. I'm always judging.
It's true.
But my opinion shouldn't matter to you.
That's also true. That's a good point.
Yes. Oh my God, you put that comment on the screen.
I don't know what that means. I have no idea. It could be. I don't know what that means. It could be a cute hamster doing the hamster dance. I don't know what that means.
It is in fact not a cute hamster.
John Calder says, "I plead the fifth."
Plead the fifth. Oh, well done, John. Well done, John.
The fact that you know what that is, John, that could be incriminating on its own. Just saying.
It absolutely is. It is.
Because I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna have to get on my work computer later and find out.
Yeah, do not do that from your work computer. Do not do that. That's negative ghostwriter. The pattern's full. Let's see here. No faded straight lines. Okay. While drinking a fifth. Okay. So, but back to the bikini barbershop. I mean, that's something.
No, back to the important stuff.
As a business idea, that is something that's there. But you as long as you understand, you're going to pick up a very specific segment of the market, and you may have a lot of one-time customers.
Well, sure.
But if you were to mix that,
1,000 true fans, man, that's all you need.
Exactly. That's it. So if you know your market's here and you're drawing in these one-time customers or this very frat boy, I guess, way to say it, is the current terminology.
But look, you work out your avatar, customer avatar. You understand who your core demographic is.
You sell to it. That could sell.
That's it.
You give me a bikini barber, I'm going to it at least once. At least once.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to Hooters every week, but I've been there before, and I know there are people
Yeah.
who do go there like every night.
Yeah.
They know their
Yeah.
demographic.
So, you know, I don't make it a habit of going to Hooters because their food's not very good. To me,
I
the
do
food
actually
matters
like their
more.
wings. They have good pickle. They have great pickle chips. Man, their pickle chips are good. The breading they put on those things.
Well, the fact that West likes pickle chips, that tells us a lot right there.
No. Look, everybody out there in the comments, tell me you don't like pickle chips because David is insane. Pickle chips are amazing.
I'm not. So there was only one lady, and she was the grandmother of one of my exes, and her name was
Her name was
I think
Pickles.
I only remember Miss Boffman, and she made pickles. She made her own pickles, and those were the only pickles I ever eaten that I actually liked. I mean, not that I could tolerate. I mean, I actually liked them. They were absolutely phenomenal pickles. Outside of that, I'm not a pickle fan.
Devin Ross says pickle chips are pretty flamboyant. Look, Devin, you have no idea. That's how I roll.
See his red hair?
That's how I roll. Why do you think David's always talking about redheads?
Not because of you, Broham. Not because of you.
Anyway,
let's see here. So we are getting close to 2 hours in.
Close to 2 hours.
Close to 2 hours in. I think it's been a good night, and we got some decent viewers out there. I'm glad you guys all were able to join us.
Dan McDonald, chips or spears? I say chips. I like spears. Chips are better because they get more breading on them. It's a whole thing. What do you think, Dan? Sorry, go ahead, David. Continue.
Well, now I'm thinking about this. The bread to
pickle ratio.
The bread to pickle ratio will be significantly different. You're going to have a lot more breading on the chips. The surface area of the pickle is going to be higher.
And the breading makes a difference too because I've had it with what's that Asian sort of breading you eat on the?
We can't say that on here.
No, the
we
breading.
can say Asian.
The
what's the
anyway? But the ones the breading they put on the ones at Hooters, it's a little bit spicy. Man, it's delicious.
Well,
John, I'm not putting your comment on the screen. John
Calendar says
you are a
that
wrong
the spears.
Person. I'm not putting that on the screen.
Squirt too much.
No. Dan McDonald says I'm not. I shouldn't have put Dan's comment on after you read John's comment. I shouldn't have put that on the screen.
But you did. So once the pickle spear squirts, then the sauce.
Anna Calendar says if you want some amazing pickles here locally, look up the Crazy Cucumber. Anna, I don't know if you're trying to get me in trouble or not. I don't know what that means.
I think that's the name of it. I trust Anna to not get us into too much trouble. So I would say the Crazy Cucumber is a place here in Columbus that you can get some decent pickles if you like that kind of thing.
My Devin Ross says
I'm not judging.
My buddy's mom
wrong with that.
My buddy's mom made pickle chips, and I thought it was chicken nuggets, and I was severely disappointed when I took a bite. You know what? That's
comment of the night.
Fair point. If you think it's chicken and you get pickles, that would be disappointing.
That is gold right there. I mean, I can imagine thinking I got some chicken nuggets and biting into a pickle. Oh my God, I'm crying right now. Literally, like I can feel it. I can feel it back in here. Like that vinegar of the pickle.
I'm really hungry for pickle chips now. I gotta go. I wonder if any place that serves pickle chips is open. Nothing is open right now. Everything sucks.
I live in Syracuse. I'm gonna go with no.
Nothing's open after dark in the world anymore. That's where we live in.
Yep, it is. So I think it's about time to wrap it up. Thank you guys all. Make sure you subscribe, like, follow, do all of the things with the clickety buttons and all the stuff that you're supposed to do. Share us out to your friends and send us money.
Share, like, subscribe, send us money, and do what you got to do. Get some pickle chips. I don't know. Dan McDonald, I don't know what a pickle back is, but I got to try that. And I don't know what John Calendar's comment is. I'm not going to put it on the screen just in case.
That's Hoff. That's Hofbrauhaus.
Oh, I didn't know if that was like an acronym for something that inappropriate, just like the Nero thing that you were talking about.
Neuro, N-U-R-U.
That too. All right. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later.
So no, you've been West. I've been Dave. You got to do the thing.
Oh, he's been West. I've been Dave. I've been one of the two. And we'll see you guys next time.